Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be asking one very particular question, and that is this the best beer on Amazon? Now you might be thinking that's a bit of a strange question to ask, Tom. This Hofmeister is available in a lot of places, definitely not just Amazon, but well, the reason I'm doing this review of this beer and mentioning Amazon is because, well, a few weeks ago it was my birthday. And for said birthday, I was gifted a box of German beers via Amazon, although it was a Beer Hawk box, so I guess available on either for sure. But that box surprised me. Now, it was all German beers, and German beers generally are very good, there's no surprise there. But I've been gifted a few gift boxes of beers, especially things from Amazon, and to be honest, out of, say, 8 or 10 beers, you normally get 3 or 4 good ones at most. This box started well, and every beer I've had from it subsequently just seems to be getting better and better. I'm nearing the end now. I've only got a couple more to go, and I think, to be honest, most of the ones I've got left I have had before. So this is the only one that I haven't, and I'm hoping it stays true to form. So, well, we won't know for sure whether it's the best beer on Amazon, but we might be able to tell whether this box of beer is the very best you can buy as a collective, if you like. Now, I will put links in to boxes containing this beer and similar beers in the description below. However, worth knowing that actually I looked just before starting recording and I couldn't find the exact box that I received for whatever reason. There are various different, well, variations containing the same beers in different boxes. But anyway, links below, you'll find something you like the look of, I'm sure. So let's get on with it. Hofmeister Weisse beer. Before we crack into it then, here is a quick look at the bottle. Very traditional, nice kind of funky top label in the oversized font that just says Hof, but otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much as you would expect. One thing that really does stand out about this though, when you put it into the light, I don't think you'll be able to tell on camera, but there is an awful lot of sediment sat in the bottom of this. I have a freshly washed 330ml glass, as this is a 330ml bottle. And now for a careful pour. To be honest, as far as careful pours go, that really is not a bad one. In the glass, it looks hazy, as you would imagine a Weisse beer would. A bit like rustic lemonade, solid one finger, very close bubble head on it. But overall, yeah, nice, a bit of carbonation spritzing up, but not going mad, but it's consistent. I don't know if you can see that in the glass there. It's slightly more yellow in real life than it is coming out across on camera. It's looking a bit lagery and orange on camera. It's certainly not much more of a yellow tint to it. And yeah, let's get into it, shall we? This is a 5.1% beer for those who are unaware, and being a Weisse beer will be similar to something like Hoegaarden and well, any other Weisse beer, I guess, that you've ever had. So, aromas. Instantly recognizable, sweet, candied. People often describe these as being banana-like. I'm not a big banana fan, so it's not what I go for, but I can understand what they mean. Kind of sweet, fake, sweet bananas, clove, and there's a bit of an underlying richness, maybe almost a smokiness to this one. It's very subtle. I'm not expecting a properly smoked beer, but I don't know, there's something a bit more full-bodied, a bit less sweet than, well, not less sweet, but less simplistically just sweet than maybe a lot of the other Weisse beers. I'm expecting this to be a very, very fine example indeed. So let's get into it. Cheers. Well, that, on a warm summer's day as today is very welcome. There's actually quite a lot of carbonation left in the beer, maybe because this glass isn't percolated, it's staying within the liquid. Quite spritzy, very refreshing. It's got big sweetness initially, but it soon tapers down into showing off quite a bit more of the malt character, a bit bready, and there's definitely a spicy zing in there somewhere. It's, to be honest, a bit like quite a decadent vanilla pudding almost, you know, where you kind of get those just hints of, I don't know, the baked on edges of something, you know, when you do like a bread and butter pudding, or I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, those baked on bits that add depth, character and warmth to what is otherwise quite a fresh taste profile. It's got heaps and heaps of that. So top to bottom taste test, because to be honest, it is quite complicated. I'm struggling to really decide what the dominant flavours are here. So initially, sweet, spritzing, carbonation on the front of the tongue. Second phase, a bit of vanilla comes in, but it's still very much that sweet, slightly confectionery, sugared banana type of affair. That leads off to a very traditional beer break, splash, crash, whatever you want to call it, kind of across the back middle of the tongue that was just very refreshing. You get kind of just a big hit of the fact that it is, yeah, it's a refreshing liquid. It's pleasing. It's not got too much flavour at that point. It's very much like a, oh yes, I've taken a drink now, and it's, you know, it's cooling me down and everything else. Which, to be honest, isn't something I necessarily associate with this style of beer. So that is interesting. And then the initial finish, it's quite bitter, not overly, but it's a little bitter. Got a bit of a kind of lemon kick to it, slightly lemony, not proper dishwatery like you do get with quite a lot of Weiss beers, and that prolonged aftertaste. You get quite a lot of the carbonation quite late on, and then those vanilla, cream, bready, cakey flavours start to develop as you sit back. They're subtle, don't get me wrong, it's not a sticky toffee pudding ale or anything like that. It's all very low key. Imagine kind of creme brulee subtlety throughout. And yeah, I'm having, as you can tell, a very nice time. So let's take a quick look at this bottle then. On the front, it simply says Hof, imported Bavarian wheat beer. It says slow brew on the front of it, next to the lovely logo of the bear with the beer. Hofmesiter Weisse, imported Bavarian wheat beer, pure mineral water, hops, wheat and barley. And then underneath that it says Reinheitsgebot 1516, which is the German purity law, of course. On the back again, Hofmesiter Weisse, and it says Hofmesiter Weisse bursts with ripe banana and vanilla aromas, all backed by a bready brioche note. Brioche, that would have been a good word to use, wouldn't it? Enjoy chilled and discover notes of lemon drizzle cake that are offset by a refreshing hint of bitterness, all carried on a rich body that feels like it turns to cream on your tongue. It's a very evocative description, that, and I agree with most of the things that they said. It's not quite thick enough. It's got good mouthfeel, but it's not quite thick enough for me to go, oh yeah, that's really, really creamy. It's not. It's a bit more refreshing than that for me. It's vegan friendly, and it's 1.7 UK units in this bottle. Ingredients are, as we've already stated, mineral water, wheat malt, hops, barley malt and yeast. And the best before on this bottle is the 13th of October this year. So in about 4 months' time. Yeah, it's a very, very nice Weiss beer, wheat beer. You know, it is a solid interpretation. Now, typically, it's not the one I've enjoyed the most out of the set, but actually, as far as Weiss beers go for enjoying on a hot summer's day, this might be one of the best out there. So, yeah, very nice indeed. Random bits of trivia from their website say it's genuine imported wheat beer brewed in the heart of Bavaria, as we already know, made with mineral water, locally sourced barley, wheat, and Hallertau hops. So, any hop heads out there, now you know. It says it pours thick and velvety. I'll be honest, it's really not that thick, but it is very nice, so I'm fine with it. And it was awarded gold at the 2020 European Beer Challenge, which, if your challenge was to create a Weiss beer that was thirst quenching, refreshing, but still tasted very much as a Weiss beer should, then I can see why they won, because that is absolutely delicious. And that really is all I've got to say about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already subscribed, if you will be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.